Good afternoon, everyone, and very warm welcome to the kickoff event of the 7th edition of the Swiss Innovation Challenge. We are happy to be here at the brand new Haus der Wirtschaft in Pratteln, which will be also our home base from now on. My name is Tobias, and I'm member of the Executive Board of Basel-Land Chamber of Commerce, and I have the honor of greeting you today. I'm here on behalf of Christoph Buser, who is Director of the Executive Board and is unfortunately unable to be with us here today. However, he sends his best wishes and to all of you and thanks you for your participation. He is now sending you on a special 6-month journey, a trip which will not only be the opportunity for you to win a prize. No, it's a journey in which you can deepen crucial business skills, and perhaps, most importantly, deepen your network. These are special times, so we have prepared a very special setting for you. We have a live streaming event today here from the auditorium of the new conference center at the Haus der Wirtschaft in Pratteln. Since we are working with Zoom, I would like to pass on a few requests of the guys from the directing team. First, please turn on your camera so we can see you. Then please change to speaker mode. You will find the button in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. And if you do have any questions, please raise your hands. I would now like to introduce to you two very important special personalities. To my left, Professor Dr. Arje Hans-Werkhøi. He is head of Institute of Corporate Management at the University of Applied Science and Arts, Northwestern Switzerland, short FHNW. And Arje is also president of the jury of Swiss Innovation Challenge.
Hello, everybody.
Sitting next to Arje is Beat Rödlisberger. He is member of the executive board at Basel Landschaftliche Kantonalbank. Thanks, both of you, for being here.
Thanks for the invitation. Hello, everybody.
Now, we've prepared a little interview, starting with you, Beat. This year we are starting the 7th edition of the Swiss Innovation Challenge. Looking back, which successes have been particularly impressive for you?
Well, to me, there were a lot of successes that we had during these 7 years, but the most impressive thing is the numbers. If I look at the numbers, by the end of this year, we will have had more than 800 startups, innovative entrepreneurs who were part of this competition, what makes me really proud. And not only that, we had more than 25 pitches. Which is also a state of the organizational power that we have in this team. And during these 7 years, the challenge developed really good from my point of view. And this is really also what makes me thankful for being part of this team. And from point of view of a sponsor, I couldn't be happier. So I really have to say thank you, Ari, to your team of the University of Applied Sciences, and also Tobias to the team of the Wirtschaftskammer. As a sponsor, I couldn't be happier.
Thank you, Beat. What do you think, Ari?
So it's quite easy for me. It's exactly the same. I mean, it's a tremendous success story that we have created here throughout the years, 7 years of Swiss Innovation Challenge with more than 700 cases. And it's a true success story. And it's not because of us. Of course, we contributed together with our partners, but it's because of our candidates who presented all throughout the years excellent business ideas and created new businesses, new working places, and it's just a tremendous success story for all of us.
Okay, so now we're in the coronavirus, and due to the coronavirus, there are still it's a crisis that presents many of our participants with challenging situations. Now, can these challenges be also considered a innovative inspiration?
Of course it is. I mean, innovation is always, and what is a pandemic? Pandemic is not really important. Innovation is important, and that's what we do. I think there's no obstacle in thinking and creating new businesses and setting up and running new businesses. This is a question of mindset. It's not a question of the environment. And I didn't see any heavy effects last year when we already had the pandemic. So we were on full speed, full power, and it worked out very well. So I don't see any differences. Of course, we have home offices and we have live streams. That changed quite a little bit. But that doesn't make a real difference in my eyes.
So what's the point of view of a bank, Beat?
Well, perhaps a personal view from my side. Sorry for that. A couple of weeks ago, I was able to make an interview with Anastasia Hoffmann, who is one of the founder of Kitro, who was one of the winners of our 2019 competition. And I asked her the same question: What's the impact of Corona on your business model? And she was a bit disappointed, of course, because her clients are hotels and restaurants, so she couldn't get to them. But they took the time. They used the time in the team just to reshape their business model. They said, okay, we cannot go to our clients. We have a problem with our supply chain. So let's use this time to do our business even better. And to me, that's really the spirit of an innovator and an entrepreneur that you often see here at the SIC, and that is really motivating for us. And perhaps the second thing that I would like to mention, in 2019, we launched our credit program, 100 fürs Baselbiet, which is financing startups too in the region, and we could use this program, aligning it to the federal guarantee program for startups in 2020 during COVID. And we were very proud, and it was also a proof of concept that it works.
So Switzerland is one of the most innovative countries in the world. What significance does the topic innovation have for you as a bank?
Well, I think Switzerland is not only very innovative, it is also one of the most developed economics in the world, and it's also one of the safest democracies that we have. So I think who else than us should have a leading role in supporting and bringing innovation to the next step. And that's what I think is the spirit of this challenge that we see here every year. We have to go in a leading role. And if you look at it in the question of sustainability, for an example, there are many people who think, oh, we have to work on a more sustainable economic model by prohibitions and restrictions. But that's not the way I see it. I think innovation is the key to do things better and in a more sustainable way in the future. That's what motivates us as a sponsor to be part of this.
What motivates you, Ari?
Well, I'm a simple university teacher, and I like very much to do applied research and put in place what we think is important now for these days. And we have more problems than the pandemic. The pandemic is one problem, but we have also quite some problems in questions of how we can deal with the problems in environmental areas like CO2 problems and so on. So I think innovation is the key. It's really the key for Switzerland to move forward, and we're doing pretty well. I think we have nothing but that, but with that we're dealing really well.
Thank you. So before I pass on to Dieter, I would like to introduce to you the rest of the team. I'm starting with Stefan. He's head of the business office at FHNW. Then Anja, next to Stefan. She is head of communication and sponsoring at Swiss Innovation Challenge. Then Rolf-Dieter Reinecke, Professor Rolf-Dieter Reinecke, Technical and Scientific Head of FHNW. And last but not least, Sergio Marelli. He's Head of Mentoring and Partnerships at Swiss Innovation Challenge. Now, please, the floor is yours, Dieter.
Thank you very much. So a very warm welcome also from my side. It's my pleasure to guide you a bit through the main features of our challenge. And here you have all in a nutshell. Most of you know already, we will embark on a journey together with you for the next 7 months or so. Depending on how far you get, we will have 3 phases, and within these 3 phases, we will lose some of you on the way, which is the natural feature of a competition, and how that exactly works, Stefan will explain you in a short while. For the participants, we do have also support. So as our dear jury president, Ari Werkel, used to say, those who participate already won. And that is very true, because this support program has for everybody of you the support that you may need. You are not obliged to use that support. We won't arouse you more work. We would like to support you. And it's also not a precondition that you participate in any of the support program. However, the jury needs to base its judgment on a certain objective base, and therefore we have some requirements regarding the paperwork, the business plan, and so on. And then, obviously, as in all competitions, then there will be an evaluation of the jury, and that is then decisive for you to move ahead or then finally get one of the prizes. And the prizes include some prize money, obviously, which you can see here. The first prize, 20,000. The second and third prize is then 5,000, and we have special prizes also for selected business sectors, which I will elaborate on in a short while. The support offer includes a variety of features. First and most of all, the coaching program, which is available for all of you, even in the first phase. Then we have a very interesting mentoring program, and Sergio will then explain you more about the mentoring program in a minute. We also have then some content-related inputs that you may or may not join. There will be some features in the press, and also we hope that we can offer some networking opportunities. That is a bit limited for reasons we all know for the time being, but we hope that it will change during the course of our program. Well, to start with the seminars, here you have a short overview. All of these seminars are described in more detail in the handbook, which you will receive later today. And there you also find all the dates for all these events, which will cover anything related to entrepreneurship and starting a business and an innovation, from online marketing to internationalization, business model innovation, and so on and so forth. Please take your time to check the available seminars, and then in the handbook you will also find some advice on how to book those. The seminars will be usually delivered both in English and in German, so usually half a day in English, the other half of the day in German. That is for most of them, and it will be delivered online even after the Corona period, because many of our participants are based a bit far away from the place where we are. Therefore, that proved to be a good format for us, whether there is a Corona limitation or not. For the coaching, That is a very key element of the Swiss Innovation Challenge, and we offer different types of coaching. There might be some general coaching related to your business model and the business plan, but those of you that are more advanced with their business plan already, then you can have different areas of specialization where we all have experienced coaches. That would be then online marketing or issues related to IP. That depends really on you, what area you feel you need some support. Sometimes if you feel that the limitation is maybe the motivation of the team or whatever, so also these soft factors would be covered by some of our coaches. The coaching will be different in the 3 stages. In the first stage, we can offer 1-hour coaching, and for most of you, we already discussed during the entry interview what type of support you need there. Otherwise, you can select from the list of coaches and then get in touch with Stefan if you then made your choice which coach you would like to have for the first phase. And then for the other phases, you can also select another coach. That would be not a problem at all. And you would have then in the phase 2, 2 hours coaching, and in the phase 3, 3 hours. Again, you are flexible in changing the coach if you feel that you have a different need while you go along in this competition. Well, this is just a visual impression of some of the coaches. You will find all the coaches in the handbook with a more comprehensive CV and their areas of specialization. And if you're not so sure which coach to choose, then you can always ask Stefan or myself for some guidance, as we know all the coaches quite well. Now let me acquaint you with the special award. We have 2 special awards. One is for the life science industry and one for the construction. Here all projects that manage to the last round will be admitted, especially those in these industries. And in addition, in order to have enough companies to choose from, we also would admit the top 5 companies in that respective industry from the phase 2. And that will then depend on the ranking that has been achieved in the second round. Well, just to elaborate a bit more on the prices so that you have an idea what to bid for. For the life sciences, we would then allow the projects that would fit in that range, including IT-related companies that would have the focus in the life sciences industry. And those can then prepare for a special prize that is offered by company Hemex, which is an incubator based in Liestal with quite a good network and funding opportunities. That would be an award in kind with services from Hemex with an overall value of 24,000 Swiss franc. For the construction industry, and again, we also have a broader view then on the construction industry, the prize is donated by the Ulrich Stamm Wohltätigkeitsstiftung, and that would be a prize money of 10,000, which would be then paid as a cash contribution. Just to acquaint you finally with the management of the competition, so you know myself already. Stefan is our head of operations, and then Anja is for the communications and sponsoring, and Sergio is the head of mentoring and our partnership network. The steering committee members you also know already. Christoph Buser is not here today, but a very active member of our steering committee and in the overall competition, together with Beat Röttlisberger, Ari Werkel and myself. So thank you for your attention, for this short introduction. There will be more possibilities to ask questions at the end of our short presentations. So please keep your questions until we are through with all the presentations. And now I turn over to Stefan, who will acquaint you with the pitching process.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Also from my side, a very warm welcome to the Swiss Innovation Challenge 2021. It's really a pleasure to start this year competition, 7th edition, and I will explain you a little bit about the timeline, about the selection, about the pitching, that you also got some information about these things. Here you see, well, a very small detailed explanation of our timeline. I will explain it later with the detailed infos. It's just for you afterwards to see a little bit inside. We will start today. We will go and start with the seminars, with the mentor, with the coaching. Then we will have the hand-in of a 2-pager. I'll explain that later. We will have our first pitch. Then the mentoring will start for those who are coming to the second round. We will have the submission of the business plan. Again, the second pitch. Again, some submission time. It's the implementation plan in the third round. And then we have the final pitch. And at the award-winning ceremony in November, we will know who won the Swiss Innovation Challenge 2021. That's the procedure of our competition. We have 3 stages. In each of these stages, you have to hand in some paperwork. We will have a pitch on site or offline. It depends a little bit what we are allowed to do, and Dieter already explained that a pitch in the first and second round can always be done online. For those who come not from, let's say, from Geneva, it's quite a long drive to Basel for just a short pitch. So for the first and second pitch, you can sure do it online. For the final pitch, it will be offline if you're allowed to do. So we have these 3 stages. How does it look with the selection process? We will start with about 100 teams at the first pitch. And then we will make a cut to 50 teams. So the jury will select 50 teams that come into the second round. Again, we will have a pitch, second pitch. Again, the jury will make a selection to 25 teams, 25 who come into the final round. And after the final pitch, we know the first 3 teams of the Swiss Innovation Challenge. So I think it's a quite clear and usual process. We know this already from other competitions. What do you have to do in the first stage? We are opening now this round, and the first thing you have to hand in is an innovation description, a 2-pager. You hand this in by May 14th. It's about your idea, really a short analysis of competitors, a little bit about scaling, a little bit about financial, a little bit about timetable. Just a 2-pager, you hand this in. It's for the preparation for the jury, and then we will have the first pitch, 3 minutes, so quite short, and afterwards 3 minutes Q&A. And as I said, from the 100 teams, 50 will come to the second round. The evaluation criteria for the first pitch are as following. You can see it here. It's about innovation, it's about customers, resources, revenue model, and all these things. So quite a lot of points to mention in 3 minutes, but it's manageable, and the jury will judge your project looking at these criteria. These are some impressions from the last year. First pitch, we were not allowed to do it on site, so we made the first pitch for the participants online. The jury meets on site. It was a little bit easier to talk about the participants or the projects when we sit all together. Second stage, it's about the business plan. This means you have to hand in a business plan. In the manual, you will get the manual today in the evening. There are the criteria for the business plan that are ordinary criteria, state of art. You hand in this business plan to us, and Dieter and myself, we will give you feedback about the business plan. If there are some gaps, you have to do probably some rework. And if you hand this in again, then you're allowed to come to a second pitch if you fulfill the criteria. For those teams that haven't a business plan at the moment, we offer access to the Get Launched platform. It's a business plan platform that helps you to create a business plan much more easier. Second pitch, it will be at the beginning of September, excuse me. It will be 5 minutes, and afterwards 5 minutes Q&A. And as I said, from the 50 teams in the second round, 25 will come into the finals. And again, the criteria for the second pitch, it's again about the innovative content, added value, and of course a little bit more into the financials, cash flow, resources, financial resources. All these will be part of the content of the second pitch. Just to mention here quite briefly what's about the jury. Because we have quite a lot of pitches, so in total there will be 7 pitching days, so it's not always possible to get the same people in the jury for all of these pitches. A few will be, but we will also change the jury members. This means you always have to explain a little bit what's your idea about. Then here we have some impressions from the second pitch last year. A few of the participants did it on site, others did it online. There we were allowed to do both. On the third stage, it's about final presentation. Again, you have to do some paperwork. It's the implementation concept that you add to your business plan. It's about 3 pages explaining the further steps of your idea. Of course, as in the second round, management summary is always very important for these business plans. You hand all the paperwork in again. You will get a feedback again from Dieter and myself, and if there are some adjustments necessary, you will get some time, you hand it in again, and you're allowed to come to the final pitch. For the final pitch, we also offer like a preview of your presentation. So Dieter and myself again will give you some feedback about your draft presentation that you can improve those for the final pitch. Final pitch will be 7 minutes, 7 minutes Q&A. These are the evaluation criteria for the final pitch. Also here, I will not go into the detail. It's a little bit more about the next steps than the idea itself. Again, here some impressions. Final pitch 2020. We were allowed to do it on site, and hopefully we can do it the same this year to have the final pitch on site here in the same building we are at the moment. Procedure for the pitching. For each of the pitches, you have to hand in some paperwork. There will be pitch trainings, and as I explained also, that you can submit the draft presentation. You will always get a verbal feedback directly after the pitch. You will get a filled out criteria sheet a few days later, and we will record your pitch so that you can see how you pitched in front of the jury to improve your pitching skills. If you're allowed, we will do the final pitch with some audience. There will be not a lot of people, but probably a few. If you're not allowed, we will see. Then we will have closed doors, of course. Procedure is always the same. You will come in or login set up for your presentation. We will have the presentation at a specific time. Afterwards, a Q&A session. And then in the first and second pitch, you will leave the room. You will have a discussion. You come back and you will get the feedback. A closer view at the three stages we are in. Today we have the kickoff. You already get some data about seminars, like save the dates. You will also get all the data today in the manual. It's everything written down. We will have submission of the innovation description by mid of May, and then at the beginning of June is the first pitch. In the second stage, it's the hand-in of the business plan by end of June. You will get a feedback by mid of July. You have again some time, and at the beginning of September, there will be the second pitch. On the third stage, again, mid of September, you hand in your paperwork. You will get a feedback. You can hand in your draft presentation, and also there you will get a feedback, and then at the 4th and the 5th of November, you will have the final presentation. For those who are in a special award, look into the manual. There are some special day for the special awards. So this means in the first and second pitch, you are allowed to give us some information when you would like to pitch. If you have some preferences in the final pitch, it's a little bit more unflexible. So for construction, it will the 5th of November. For the life science, it will be the 4th of November. And at 25th of November, we will have our award-winning ceremony, hopefully at the Day of Business in the St. Jakobshalle Basel-Land. We are very looking forward to this. So that's an impression from the award-winning ceremony from the last year. We had, again, an online live streaming event as today. It was very nice event, and hopefully this year we can do it again on site as we are used to from the last years. That's it from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. I hand over to Sergio to talk a little bit about the mentorship program.
Hello everybody, also from my side, we will talk about the mentoring program. Just some words about the mentoring as a brief introduction. The mentoring is provided by IWF, and IWF is a subsidiary of the Wirtschaftskammer Basel-Land. And a short general definition of mentoring as a transfer of knowledge and experience from the mentor to the mentee. It takes place in different kinds of organizations, such as companies, universities, associations, and so on, for the benefit of both the mentee and the mentor. And it also takes place here at Swiss Innovation Challenge. Now, on this page, we have some general information about the mentoring. The participation in mentoring is like the participation in seminars and codes. It's up to you, it's an option, so it's up to you to decide whether you take part or not. The mentoring is intended for the participants of the second pitch. This means you have to pass the first pitch to benefit from the mentoring program. There's a high quality pool of mentors. You can see a part of them on our homepage, and I will tell you more in this regard at the end of this presentation. Now, some information regarding the goals and the content of the mentoring. Of course, the main goal of the mentoring is the improvement of your innovation project as a whole. The mentoring itself is a free exchange between you and the mentor. For example, an exchange of ideas, or you get suggestions for improvements. You can also get new aspects and perspectives. You get reference to opportunities and risk, and you can get support in making decisions. And eventually, you get access to the network of the mentor. Therefore, the benefit for you can be an improvement regarding the assessment of the potential, the strength, and the limits of the project. maybe you get a new perspective on your project and you can enlarge your own network. Now, some word about the process of the mentoring, which means how we make sure that you will benefit from the mentoring program. First, we contact you by email, and we check whether you would like to take part at the mentoring program. If you want to take part, we ask you about the requested mentoring experiences and for the business and industry skills your mentor should have. With this information, we make the matchmaking with the existing mentoring pool. After this, we provide both sides. This means you as a mentee and the mentor with the necessary data and information in order you can prepare the meeting and you can get in contact to each other. And all this process is managed by the IWF AG. Here we have some logos of the companies where the mentors are in leading positions. We have more or less all industries are available, such as insurance companies, for example, banking and finance, of course, with Basel Landschaftliche Kantonalbank, the main sponsor and partner of Swiss Innovation Challenge. We have also the building and construction sites, also, of course, chemical, pharmaceutical, and life science industry with Roche, Straumann, Medartis, Basilea, Clariant, and so on. Of course, we have the ICT companies with Microsoft, Swisscom, Unblue, and we have the sustainable consumer product with Veleda and the transport logistic company X-Rail, for example. Here you can see a part of our mentors. You don't see it in detail, but you can get more information on our homepage, of course. For example, in the first line, we have the CFO Michael Brenner of Veleda. And on the second line, we have Daniel Gerber. He is the head of innovation at Schweizerische Post. Or the Mario Rossi, the former CFO of Swisscom. And in the bottom line, for example, we have Francisco Faoro. He is the head of research and development of Straumann. And Martin Rohrbach, he is head life science at KPMG. So you see, the mentors are ready for you. We are ready for you. And hopefully you get this chance and yes, get a step forward. Thank you very much. And I give the word to Anja.
Yeah, hello and good evening. My name is Anja, and as Tobias previously mentioned, I'm responsible for all marketing and communication activities within the Swiss Innovation Challenge. Nice to make your acquaintance this evening. I've been working for the Chamber of Commerce Basel-Land since last September, and I'm really proud to be a team member. So, I've compiled an overview of marketing and public relations activities for you. Firstly, I would like to draw your attention to the website. On the website, we publish a general overview of the program, impressions, and interviews from the participants. We present the projects, videos, tools, and interesting information about the events. We are always keen to improve and enhance our marketing and communication activities. Therefore, we've created new measures like a Switzerland-wide telemarketing campaign to introduce the Swiss Innovation Challenge to companies, co-working spaces, and innovation parks. In addition, we produced roll-up banners for the co-working spaces and innovation parks. And we've launched a Google campaign as well as a DisplayNet campaign, and we delivered the starter kits to you at home. Please find here a brief overview of various campaigns with the LED light bulb as a recurring campaign theme. Public relations is a key point to us. And for you, of course. We will spread out 3 to 4 press releases per year for the Swiss Innovation Challenge. The first one we've already sent out in March. The next one will be followed tomorrow. The Swiss Innovation Challenge is placed on different industry portals. By end of March, we had the unique opportunity to conclude a partnership with FinNews and MoneyCap. Going further, the Chamber of Commerce Basel-Land has its own publication, so-called Standpunkt der Wirtschaft. The newspaper reports regularly about the Swiss Innovation Challenge, like kick-off, pitches, and the award-winning ceremony. Blog articles will be published on the website of our valued partners, like the BLKB and Hamex. In addition, the FHNW recently published the newest edition of the e-magazine. Moving on social media activities. The SIC is active on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Our aim is to build a wide community in order to be connected with our participants and to raise profile on social networks. We would like to ask you to follow us on our social media platforms, and thank you for your active contribution in advance. A big thank goes also to our partner, IWF Communications, who supports us in this field. Furthermore, together, we've achieved great results on social media, and we increase the number of our followers constantly. The award ceremony is an extremely important event for you because you have the unique opportunity to present your company to an audience of 3,000 in the St. Jakob-Halle Basel. There will be an exhibition corner for you, and we will take over the costs, including the production of the roll-up banners. In addition, the 3 winners will be visited from us in advance, and we will shoot an exclusive video for them. The event has a high media profile because a federal councillor also attends and welcomes the spectators. Thank you very much for your attention and lots of success for your innovative projects. I will hand over to Stefan again for the Q&A session.
Thank you very much. Now presentation time is over and we will start Q&A session. For those that haven't turned on the camera yet, please turn on the camera. As you can see in the back of me, we can see all the faces, and it's much nicer if we see everybody of you. If you have a question, please raise your hand, and then if you can ask the question, turn on your microphone, and you will hear the question and answer them as good as possible. Go ahead. Are there any questions? If you have a question, turn on your microphone and ask us directly your question. Unfortunately, I can't hear you at the moment. I don't know if you turned off your microphone. Now I hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Great, okay. Thank you very much for this introduction. I'm really looking forward to this process, and I'm happy to be part of it. My question is, there was an interesting pool of mentors, potential mentors and companies. What I was missing a little bit was my project plays in the educational surrounding. So is there also space for educational project?
Sergio?
Yes, there is. It's just a part of the mentors which you saw and a part of the industries which you saw. We have completely about 50 mentors, and there are sure part of them are have the experience in your industry or on the focus of the experience you wish, of course.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there other questions? Please go ahead. There are some questions in the chat, but I can't read it. So somebody should have a look into the chat. If you have a question, just open your microphone and ask us directly.
Hello?
Yes?
Okay. Well, I see that a great part of the award is based on the business model and the management summary, etc. For me particularly, I am implementing a construction system. I am very aware of the difficulties and the things that I will face according to my industry, construction. But I have very little idea about anything regarding a business plan or the setup of an enterprise. So how much of this ignorance will play against me? Or will I have to, let's say, put up in these few months in order to, have a fair chance at this, or not at all?
You sure have a fair chance. We have some seminars. For example, this Friday, it's about business model innovation. So there you get some information. We will have a seminar about business planning. I think it's in about a month or so. I don't know all the data from the seminars. It will be written down in the manual. And of course, you can get access to get launched. So this platform helps you to make a business plan much more easier. That's the first thing. On the second thing is, if you hand in your business plan, you will get a feedback from Dieter and myself. So we will look through your business plan and give you some advice if there are parts that must be done better or can be done better. And we will give you this information and you can improve your business plan. In the end, to come to the next round, for the jury, it's all about the presentation, the pitch itself. The business plan is like the entry key. It has to be a certain level. We ensure that. But to get further, it's about the presentation, not the paperwork itself.
Thank you.
I can see there are a lot of questions in the chat, but that's for our team here. Unfortunately, I can read it, so please give me all this information.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, who is it? Samir, do you want to go first?
No, you can go first, Awa.
Thanks. First of all, thank you very much for the introductions. And my question is specifically, would there be any platforms for all the different teams and projects also to collaborate? I know that it's a competition and at the end there will be a prize, but to me there are different ways of winning. Like there are potential future collaborations that can be also very positive and can contribute to different projects that we have sometimes. And do you also plan to have a platform for collaborating between us? Thank you.
Sorry. Shall I? We don't have a platform like that. Because, well, that's not really part of the Swiss Innovation Challenge at the moment. We probably will think about that, but at the moment we don't have a platform like that for collaborative activities.
Maybe just to add on that, what we can offer is if you're looking for a specific type of collaboration partner, we may be able to help you because we have a big alumni community and also we know all our participants. So we can help you with a personal matchmaking, but that would be based on a specific request from your side.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Stefan, auf der Homepage, noch sehen Sie alle da.
Yeah, of course. If you're going on our website, you can see all the participants from this year, also from the last years. And of course, you can always network with them, contact them directly, mention that you're a member of the Swiss Innovation Challenge 2021. And normally this works quite good.
Hi. So I wanted to say something. Well, first of all, thank you again for the presentation. It was really clear, so that's why maybe there's so few questions. I wanted to ask something very similar to Ewa, that there is a lot of different projects here pitching, and there is potential for synergies between various projects. So whether it's collaboration or somebody developing a specific tool that can be used by another group. There is a proposal in the chat to create a LinkedIn group or something similar. So is that something that you would support, and could we use, for example, your LinkedIn page or some way to, let's say, start this process of collaboration?
Anja?
I think that's possible. It's a really interesting question, but I also have to think about how we can cooperate with you. I think there will be a solution. Give me a little bit of time and I come back to you within the social media and yeah, that is what I will do. Yeah, of course, I think we can do something, but I need a bit of time for that, how we could collaborate in this matter best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for this interesting idea. Are there other questions? Please, if you have a question, just ask us. Okay. So therefore, if there are no questions at all, we will close the question round, and I will hand further to Tobias, and we will finish this live streaming event today.
Thank you, Stefan. Now, the guys from the team IWF have done a great job making this live streaming event possible. Thank you very much, Patrick. But I tell you, those guys can do a lot more. Patrick and his team have prepared a short video. Let's see it.
Our products, they shall, in the next year, of course, we want to launch our...
With innovative and individual web development, we build software that supports your USP. With more than 200 years of experience, we develop web applications, websites, platforms, interfaces, and online stores in Swiss-made products. We support you from the idea through the user experience to the final product. During operation and further development, we will grow with you. IWF Communications will place you in a way that will make you stand out. We analyze where your online marketing stands today and develop strategies, goals, and activities for your successful future. Moving pictures will tell you more than 1,000 words. Our video producers get out the best of you and your products. Our online marketing and social media experts will take your message around the world. We turn content into top stories and boost them to the top of the newsfeed. My name is Patrick Holz, and I'm the CEO of IWF AG. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Now, the moment has come to finally open the Swiss Innovation Challenge 2021. Everybody, lights on. Thank you very much. You have a nice evening. Goodbye. Thank you for being here. Goodbye.